What's good, fellas? Welcome to this presentation. This is a live masterclass on cold approach. How to approach women. We're gonna focus on the daytime. All right, how to approach women in the daytime, like at the grocery store, at the mall, at the department store. I mean, pretty much what I'm about to tell you is it could work in the clubs as well. In the clubs, you can get more sexual, you can get more seductive or whatever, but we're gonna talk about the day because right now, not everyone's able to really get in the club like that because of the coronavirus or whatever. So I'm gonna just focus on the daytime, okay? So cold approach pickup, how to become a beast at picking up women, okay? First, you have to know what is your goal, okay? What is your goal? Do you want a girlfriend? Do you want to have a rotation of women that you're seeing? Do you just want abundance of women? You need to get clear on your goal and don't filter it, okay? Like the goal that's gets your soul going, that gets the fire going in your soul, the goal that gets you motivated, that gets you inspired, that's your goal. And stick to that goal. Lock into that goal. Don't say, maybe a girlfriend, but maybe this. No, know exactly what you want. Because before you go out there and approach women, you have to know what's your intention. Like, why are you approaching these women? Like, what's going on here? So set a goal for yourself. Know exactly what your goal is. Okay? So let's say, because my first goal when I got into pickup was to get a girlfriend, right? So let's say that's your goal, right? So now you make that your goal and you commit to that goal, meaning you make a decision. Yo, this is my goal and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to hit this goal, right? Because the condition you're in right now is based on who you are right now. And so what that means, if you want to create a new condition, you have to take on a new beingness. And what does that mean? You're going to have to get outside your comfort zone, right? You're going to have to step up to challenge. You're going to be challenged, right? Your old limiting beliefs are going to show up. Okay, your insecurities, they're going to show up because you're moving into this new beingness. And those limiting beliefs, those old insecurities, you have to destroy those because those are part of the old identity. And now you're creating the new identity. So when you go out to approach women, understand that, yes, when you go out, you go and talk to a woman or whatever, you may get rejected. This may happen, that may happen, but know what your goal is, okay? Your goal is to get a girlfriend or your goal is to whatever it is. And so when you go through this process, don't lose focus when you get a little rejection or a girl flakes or this happen, because you're working on the character, the beingness. You have to become the person that can live in this new condition of, yes, I have a girlfriend that I'm actually attracted to and that we vibe together. Or, yes, I have a rotation of women that I'm seeing. Or, yes, I have abundance of women that I'm talking to. It's a beingness that you need to become. So let's look at let's talk about, okay, now you know your goal, okay, you know your intention, and you locked in, you're committed. Now you're gonna go out and approach some women. The way I did it is I focused on getting comfortable with cold approach, right? Because it's not something that's comfortable. It's not even comfortable going and talking to a stranger. So it's even more uncomfortable to go and talk to a stranger that's a girl you find attractive. And so you got to get comfortable with cold approach, right? The first time I went out and tried to approach women, I went to a mall and I walked around the mall for hours. Why? Because it felt very uncomfortable. It's not like you see guys out there like approaching women. You rarely ever see that. So you're kind of going against the grain here. You're going against the energy of the environment. And that actually takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of energy to push through that resistance. And so what I suggest is you start off by getting comfortable by doing little small shit that's slightly outside your comfort zone, but not enough to like be overwhelming, right? So for example, if you can walk up to an attractive woman and just say hello, then do that. Okay, don't even focus on picking her up or any of that other stuff. Cause you got to get comfortable with the basics. Like people that are really good at something, they're really good at it because they got really good at the basics, right? Great basketball players, they're really good at the basics, the fundamentals. Great boxers, they're really good at the fundamentals. Then once you master the fundamentals, then you can kind of just create your own style and have fun and do whatever you want. But in the beginning, you want to get solid. You want to have a good foundation. And so I recommend you start off by just doing little things that will get you comfortable with cold approach, right? So saying hello to women, not trying to pick her up, not trying to get her number, just saying hello. Get comfortable with that. How do you feel when you say hi? Do you say hi to her and a feeling comes up? Like, check that feeling. What is it? Do you feel good? Do you feel awkward? Do you feel whatever? Okay, well, expose yourself to it more. You want to get comfortable with it. You should be able to say hello to a woman, no problem. You should be comfortable with that. And you get comfortable with it by exposing yourself to that energy, exposing yourself to that experience enough times so that it becomes like, oh, this is no big deal. This is what I do. No problem. So start small. You don't have to try to like go out there and pick up a girl right away and get her on a date right away. Like, no, bro. I tried to do it like that, and as I said, it was overwhelming. It was too much. I had to walk around the mall for hours. So I'm trying to help you, like, get shit going as fast as possible, but also do it in a way where you're building a strong foundation, because you want to have this as a skill set. You don't want to get lucky here and there and pick up a girl here and there. You want to actually have a skill set you can rely on. So start small. So I recommend, saying hello to women, asking for the time, asking for directions, getting comfortable with this idea of walking up to a stranger. Like, we got to start there, bro. Before we can go up to a girl and, have her feeling all these emotions and bring her in an interesting experience and have an instant date and get her number and all these things, we got to be comfortable with doing what we're doing. We got to be comfortable with the idea of approaching a girl first. And so start there. Start by asking for the time, asking for directions, then build it up a little bit more. Now start complimenting girls, right? Just go out and say a couple compliments, bro. I'm telling you, don't worry about picking up. You're going to pick up women, right? If you get good at this shit, guarantee you're going to pick up women, no problem. But you got to get comfortable and good with the fundamentals, bro. The open. Can you approach a girl comfortably? If you can't even do that, bro, you forget about the other shit. So focus on that, okay? As I said, ask for the time, just say hello, work on your eye contact. Can you look at the girl without looking down or looking around and shit? Directions, right? So little bit longer interaction, ask her for the directions, whatever. Get comfortable with the tension, get comfortable with the discomfort, right? Get comfortable with the anxiety. Whatever it is you're feeling, get comfortable with that. Because what are you doing? You're working on courage too. You're building character. You're building character as a man, right? Every time you approach a girl, whether you get her number or not, you're building character, because that takes courage. Most guys can't, they'll find the first excuse not to approach a girl. So when you do it, give yourself props. Like, yo, I'm actually being assertive here. I'm actually being proactive. I'm actually going towards my, what I want. You know what I mean? Don't worry about you pick her up and none of that, bro. Just in the beginning, focus on the basics. Focus on the fundamentals. So that's what I recommend. You want to master the cold approach, you start with that, okay? Then you keep building it up. So, okay, so you can ask for the time, no problem, great. You can then get to a point. Can you ask for directions, no problem, great. Can you give her a compliment, no problem, great. Now start stacking things, right? Maybe ask for the directions, and while she's giving the directions, say, hey, I like your hairstyle or whatever. And just leave it at that, right? If she talks back to you, then talk back. Just vibe, but don't force anything. You don't need to force anything. We're just working on getting comfortable with the process. Another way to put it, as I always say, grounded masculinity. What are we doing here? You're getting more grounded, right? Because when you take action and you're assertive and you approach a girl, that's masculine energy. But then when you get anxious and stuff, the masculine energy is not grounded. So it turns the girl off, because she can't be submissive or feminine to a guy who's not grounded, right? You see what I'm saying? She can't be submissive and feminine because it doesn't feel right. She doesn't feel safe. She doesn't feel like you got shit under control. She doesn't feel like you're comfortable in the environment or comfortable around her. So she can't be comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So you first have to be comfortable, because she's reflecting your energy, right? When you're in your masculine energy, she wants to go in her feminine energy. But first, she has to check and see if you're grounded. Because if you're not grounded, she can't trust you. You see what I'm saying? So that's just keep that understanding. So as I said, so you're doing the approaches, you're working on being grounded, you're working on being comfortable. As I said, you start pushing it a little bit, you start stacking them, you ask directions, you may throw a compliment in there. You might transition into another topic. Maybe something going on in the environment, you talk about it. Oh, did you hear about this and this that just happened not too long ago or whatever? You just start vibing. Get comfortable with conversation. You notice we're not focusing on the girl right now because you're going to get the girl, of course, but as I said, you got to get good at the fundamentals, bro. Right? Like you get to a mastery level by mastering the fundamentals. Okay? So, you get good at interacting with women. You're not, in the beginning, you're not really going to experience too much rejection because we're not really putting like no strong intention out there. All we're doing is just working on being comfortable. All we're doing is working on conversation. We're working on communicating in the environment, expressing ourselves authentically, being grounded in that masculinity. But we're taking these small steps. Now, the key here to really build this up and to really build up the muscle memory and build the character that's necessary to approach women and do it successfully is consistency. That was one of the things that I had that most guys did not have. And that's why there's some guys that were in the pickup game longer than me, and I shot past them very quickly because I was consistent. They would be in and out. Not to say that I wasn't in and out, but I did less of the in and out than they did. Like after a while, after seeing like some little progress and stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, if I can maintain this consistency in just building my character and building my grounded masculinity and getting comfortable with women, I can get somewhere with this because I'm starting to get some good interactions. You'll notice as you get more comfortable and more confident, women start to respond to you better. And if you have enough intelligence to see, have some vision, see in the future, like, yo, what if I kept improving? What would happen? What would happen if I kept getting better? Okay? So this is like the intelligent approach at building this skill. And this is something you can find time. It's not even going to take that long to really just be consistent. If you could find 30 minutes to an hour, right? You might not even need the full hour, but it just depends on your time. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but just to approach a few women for the day. And don't even focus on picking them up. Like sometimes it happens spontaneously. Like sometimes you approach a girl and you guys just vibe. Like that happens sometimes too. So be ready for that. That might happen, right? But that's not even your focus right now. You have a big goal, a big long-term goal. Getting a girlfriend, getting a rotation, whatever. That's your long-term goal. So you're just going through the process, knowing what your vision is so you don't lose focus when little things happen. Because all these little things that might happen, a little rejection here, a little girl ignores you here or whatever, that's whatever, bro. Like your goal needs to be bigger than that shit. Because that's just part of the process. You're not even going to remember that. When you hit your goal, like there's a lot of shit that has happened through my years of doing code approach. I can't remember the shit because I'm past that shit. It was nothing in comparison to the rewards and the success that I've achieved, right? Me actually getting a girlfriend, me actually creating a rotation, all these things that I used to think, maybe would never happen for me. Or if they did happen, it would be by luck. I was able to create it by developing the skill. So focus on the foundation. Now, as you start building up, you start to, basically challenging yourself and seeing how much tension can you handle, right? The tension essentially is that anxiety that you feel when you approach a woman. There's levels of it, right? So as you get more comfortable with women, let's say if you approach a girl, the tension level is an 8 or a 9 out of 10, right? As you go through this process, it starts getting lower. And what happens when the tension goes down, you feel more comfortable in the interaction and you're able to express yourself more and be authentic. Guys say, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. The reason you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do is because you're uncomfortable, right? If you were comfortable with this woman and you were not attached to the outcome and you were being proactive, you would just say what you want to say. How are you when you're with your friends, when you're with your best friend, when you're with the family, people that you're comfortable with? You just say whatever the fuck you want to say. And that's how you're supposed to be with the woman. She's actually wants you to be like that, but she's going to test you to see how strong you are, right? She's testing your character. Because if you can't even handle her, like if you're getting nervous and shit with her, you're not going to be able to handle her life. Like that's what she's testing to see. You see, that's why, people will say, okay, yeah, you just got to be good looking. Here's the thing with this good looking thing. Girls will overlook their fuck ups with the looks, right? The looks thing will give, because I've spoken to girls and I ask them, they'll tell me like, look, like when a guy is really good looking, it doesn't really mean they really like him like that. It's just that the good looks, they're willing to sacrifice, oh, maybe his personality is trash, maybe this and that, whatever. But if a guy comes in and maybe he's not as good looking, but he comes in with that grounded masculinity, he has the character, he has a personality, he can lead her, she's gonna get more turned on by that guy, right? Because that guy, she can truly go in her feminine. This good looking guy, she's just with him for show, right? She can show her friends, oh, I have a good looking boyfriend, whatever. But if he ain't got no character, if he ain't masculine, if he's not leading a relationship, she probably cheating on him, right? Or maybe she's using him for sex or whatever. You don't want that. You want a girl that you connect with for real. You see what I'm saying? A girl you connect with for real who wants you to be in your masculine, right? And she encourages your masculine, and she encourages you on moving towards your purpose. But she has to see that strength. And so by doing cold approach pickup, you can develop that strength. You can develop that character, that groundedness. So when a woman communicates to you and she looks you in your eye, you want to be able to stand solid and look her in her eye. And she's going to look to see if you're afraid of her. But if you've been doing what I'm saying, if you've been coming out consistently, you've been working on your grounded masculinity, you're not going to have that fear anymore. You're going to get desensitized to that. Okay? So once you get to a point where you're comfortable with approaching women, and basically I would say in more so an indirect manner, so like just asking for the time, directions, you know, maybe a little compliment, but you walk away or whatever, like just chill shit, like, you know, regular shit. Then what I recommend is now you want to start showing more intent, essentially doing direct approaches, right? So a direct approach is where you're basically letting the girl know, I'm interested in you, okay? A direct approach could be, hey, I thought you were attractive, I want to come and say hi. Another one could be, hey, I thought you were beautiful, I want to come and say hi. You know, I thought you were hot. Like basically you're letting her know how you truly feel about her based on what you've seen so far. And that's why you are talking to her. Now, this is a new level of tension. When you get direct like this, what's happening now is you're being vulnerable. So you're going to feel more tension. You're going to feel more anxiety. However, keep your focus on your goal, okay? As you do this, yes, you are going to get rejected. I'm not going to bullshit you. There's going to be rejections. That's part of the game. But every time you get rejected, that builds character. Because you as a man, you need to be able to handle rejection, right? She's checking to see when she rejects you, she's also looking to see how you respond to it. Because if you get down on yourself and you're like, oh, then she actually feels good that she rejected you, because she knows that you're probably in scarcity. You know, you're not really in your you're not really grounded in your masculinity, and that you haven't really matured as a man yet. And so, because look, I've been rejected by girls who have changed their mind because of how I responded to the rejection. For example, I've had a girl who I approached and I asked for her number, and she said no, and then I was like, oh, thank you, have a great day. And she's like, hey, wait. I just wanted to see how you were going to respond to the no. I was like, oh, okay, all right. She was like, yeah, you can have my Instagram or whatever. And so literally, she was just testing to see how I was going to respond to her rejection. Now, what does that say? Why would she even give a fuck? That's grounded masculinity right there. I'm telling you, this is what they're looking for. No girl's going to come out and say, hey, I'm looking for a man who's grounded in his masculinity. Maybe some girls will say that, like more girls who actually like study this shit or whatever, they might say that, but you're not really going to hear that. She probably just say, oh, he's confident, whatever. But I'm telling you, I'm just giving you like a very clear example of something that popped in my head. But the point is, you just want to go, when you approach a girl, think of it this way. You want to go in as a man and leave as a man. Okay? And if you approach women consistently, and you're going in and leaving as a man, and you're doing this consistently, there are some women out there who are going to respond to your masculinity. Okay? There are some women out there that are going to look at you and say, wow, so I have no effect on this dude. Guess what? Now you become a challenge. Women are looking for a challenge. They're looking for that guy that they have to work for, right? That guy who's not easily gonna validate them. You know what I mean? That guy that's not gonna easily react to them. That's what keeps them interested. Like, she's not gonna have time to focus on no other men because she's trying to get you. You got to become the challenge. You got to start putting yourself on a pedestal. Start seeing yourself as a king, right? You shouldn't be so easily affected by women. If a woman flakes, you shouldn't give a fuck. You should have that abundance mentality. Like, yo, if she flaked, that's her loss, right? And let's say you don't really feel like a king or really feel like a boss or anything like that. Why don't you feel like that? Start moving through life with a purpose. Figure out, what is your purpose? What are you doing? You know, what is your value? Because I found my value, right? My value is my purpose. You know, at certain times I had different purposes. At certain times I was building certain businesses. You know, at different times, you know, there was a time where I used to really be into basketball, and that was my purpose. And there was girls who I attracted through that. Like, you want to be living with a purpose, because that's what's going to keep you in that masculine energy. Because when you have a purpose, you have something that you're working towards, right? So as a man, you want to focus, you want to have that as well, right? You want that to be part of your masculinity. Is, what is your purpose? What is your goal? What are you doing in life? What is your value? Okay? Like, your value you can think about it, like, your value can be your emotional stability. Some women, they're looking for a man that's stable emotionally, because they're not. Your value can be your intelligence. But you can't be bragging about it. It just has to be in your beingness. It has to be in your body language, in your communication. Like, yo, I know my value. I know my worth, right? And maybe write it down. Like, figure out, what is your value? Like, what do you have going for you? And if women aren't responding to these things, amplify them, right? Amplify them, bring them up, level it up so that they start noticing it. Like, one of the things I do is I play the piano. Not that I'm playing the piano for women, but I just need to know that is one of my values, right? If I play the piano and I put it out there and they see that shit, there's some girls that's going to be like, oh, that's kind of hot. He plays the piano. And I need to know that. I need to know that's my value. So when a woman comes and she tries to, oh, yeah, I know my value. I'm like, hey, I have the value, okay? There's one of me and there's millions of you. Now, this is a strong mentality. It's not like, you know, it's not like I'm like an asshole or anything like that, but I just have a strong mentality. I know my self-worth, right? I know my value. I know who I am as a man, and I know a girl can benefit by being with me. And so I carry myself as such, okay? And I got this way through experience. So what I'm telling you is, go out there and approach women. Go out there and start getting some shit going. Start going on dates, okay? Right, so let's get back to it. Let's get back to the structure. So now let's say you went through, you've asked the girl for time, direction, compliments, right? You build your way up. Now we're doing direct approaches, right? So let's say you're going up to a woman and you're saying, hey, I think you're attractive. I wanted to come and say hi. See how you feel about that. Like, are you super nervous doing that? If you're super nervous doing that, guess what? You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to speak your intent as a man, right? You're supposed to be able to express yourself authentically as a man, right? And so you want to work on desensitizing yourself to that anxiety or whatever, right? And so the way I did it is, as I said, I leveled my way up until I got to a point where I could do these direct approaches, and I started doing them consistently, right? And what's going to happen is, basically at this point, because we're not to the point where we're like, okay, advanced game or intermediate game. No, we're just focusing on being able to express ourselves, right? Because that's like the fundamentals. As I said, in order to like really get great with this stuff, you got to master the fundamentals. The same way you would do it in a sport and learning the piano and learning anything, you got to master the fundamentals. So this is direct approaching. So you go up and you say, hey, I think you're attractive. I want to come and say hi. Or, hey, I think you're attractive. I wonder if you'd be down to have coffee, right? The whole point is not to pick up the girl. That's not like amazing game. That's just a statement. You're just telling her some shit and you're being very direct about it. But what you're doing is you want to get comfortable with communicating your intent, with injecting because you're injecting sexuality into the communication. You're telling her you're into her, right? I find you attractive. I find you sexy. I think you're beautiful. I think you're whatever. You, as a man, need to be comfortable saying that to a woman. And you should be able to look her in the eye when you're saying it. Hey, I just wanted to come up to you and let you know I thought you were attractive. My name's Trey. What's your name? And if you put your hand out and she doesn't shake your hand, that you shouldn't like all of a sudden lose all your self-worth. You should be like, okay, don't want to shake my hand, that's fine, coronavirus, I understand. Right? Make a joke about it. Just you don't want to be reactive. Like, you're just living. You're just expressing yourself as a man, and you're working on your grounded masculinity. So the direct approach is, so you want to do that and see what is your tension level from a scale of 1 to 10. How much tension do you feel in your body when you go and you ask and you go to a woman and you say, hey, I think you're attractive. I want to come and say hi. Right? If there's a lot of tension there, that means you're not comfortable with expressing your sexuality. You're not comfortable with expressing your masculinity. And if you're not comfortable with it, she's not going to be comfortable with it. So that actually means that's a weakness in your game. That's something you need to work on. That's like the inner game, right? I could teach you all this stuff to say, but if your inner game is weak, it's not going to work. Like, literally, if we both go out together and we both say the same exact thing, it will work more for me, because you will see in my body language, you'll see in my energy how I'm so grounded in it. So the girl can be receptive. She can be feminine. She might challenge me a little bit, but she'll stay there because she can see that I'm grounded and I'm solid in what I'm saying. Whereas if you come up, you might even be better looking than me. But if you go up and you're all awkward and shit, unless that girl is really, because there's some girls who just go for guys who have the looks, right? So if you run into one of those girls, you'll get lucky. But if you just go running into, the average girl or whatever, she's going to feel awkward because you feel awkward, right? She's reflecting your energy. And so you want to work on doing these direct approaches. If you get past the indirect and you get comfortable with those, now do the direct ones. And what's going to happen through doing this, because I've done it myself, you don't want to focus on picking up girls, but what's going to happen when you start expressing your direct intent and you do it consistently, you go out, maybe let's say you go up to 5 girls a day and you express yourself directly, some girls are actually going to go for it, okay? Usually it's gonna happen during a period of time where you're just feeling good, right? You're feeling good, you're feeling grounded, you're feeling like you're in your masculine energy, because women are going to be more receptive to that. Now, you may be able to get her number, whatever, and she may flake. Why? You may have some limiting belief. You may think, maybe I'm not good enough. Oh, what if she flakes, whatever. So you're actually creating that. And so you need to expose yourself to that situation consistently so you start feeling like you're worthy, right? When you put out that energy into the universe and you go and approach these women, you get rejected and you still go again, you're telling the universe, right? You're creating a vibration of, I am evolving into this new beingness that gets results, okay? You're telling the universe, look, I am working towards results. Look, I am giving. I'm putting my energy out there, and the universe will return that energy, okay? But the universe is going to challenge you. It wants to see, especially if you've been living a certain way for a long time, it wants to see how real you are and see it that way, because that's how I saw it. I was like, okay, you don't want to give me the results? Okay, I'm going to keep going. Because you got to know your goal. That's why I said in the beginning, you want to be 110% committed to your goal. Now, when you approach these girls, you'll start to see like what they respond to, what they don't respond to, right? Because you get comfortable and you'll be able to read their body language. You'll see like how much space you need to give them. Like, there's little subtleties that I've developed over time from having these experiences. Like, how much space, how much is enough space, how much is too much space, right? You'll be able to see like when they're really into it and when they're not. But you'll only be able to do this once you can get into your body. Because when you approach a girl and you haven't been doing this for most of your life, you're going to be stuck in your head. You're going to be stuck in your head. And when you're stuck in your head, you can't really relax into the moment and really play with the energy, play with the vibe, play with the interaction, right? Because you're too stuck in your head. You're too stuck, oh, what do I say? What do I do? And so the girl is reflecting that anxiety that you're feeling, and that you being stuck in your head. Now she's going to get stuck in her head, right? Because she's reflecting your energy, because you're putting masculine energy out there, and you're creating this interaction. That's your creation. When you approach a woman, you're creating that interaction. Do you realize that? And so she's okay, she's doing her thing, you approach her, so now she's going into your vibe and she's trying to see what you're about, and whatever you put out, she's gonna reflect it, right? Now if she likes you for whatever reason, she may still stay in the interaction, but you know, we don't know how long she's gonna stay in the interaction. It just depends, right? Many factors. Maybe she just broke up with her boyfriend. She's desperate to get with another guy. You don't know, but instead of us like getting lucky, let's just focus on building up our comfort, building up our grounded masculinity, building up that confidence, so we can get comfortable in the situation. Cool. So the direct approach is, so you want to consistently do that and get comfortable with that, because it's not about the girl right now. It's about you getting your inner game tight. You getting comfortable with approaching women and putting your intent out there and sexualizing the conversation. Okay, as I said, if you do this consistently, some girls are gonna go for it, right? Now, one thing guys will do, and here's where they fuck up. They set their standards too high in the beginning. This was something that I did too. I was like, yo, I want the fine girl, I want the sexy girl, I want this. In the beginning, if you're not grounding your masculinity and stuff like that, you're not necessarily gonna attract the highest quality girls, because you gotta see it as a game, bro. Do you really expect to get the finest girls if you're not even comfortable in what you're doing? You're not confident in what you're doing? Like, do you expect to get the best? Like, let's just to get my point across, let's just see the girl as a trophy. Like, the finer the girl is, the better the quality of the trophy, right? So the fine girls are the platinum trophy, and you know, maybe the 8s and 7s are the gold, and the 6 and 5s are the silver, whatever, right? See it like that. So as you get better, the quality of women that you attract will get better. But in the beginning, you might just get some, you know, what you may number as 6s and 7s or whatever. But use that as practice. So when you do get to the 8 and the 9 or whatever, you are seasoned, right? You know exactly what to say. You know exactly what to do. You've been here and done that, right? But you practice with the 6 and 7s. Right? I wish I would have done this a lot sooner, right? Now, I don't really have regrets, but it's just like looking back at it like, okay, the wiser me sees that, yeah, there's probably some girls that I was kind of like ignoring and stuff like that, because I was like, they're not that hot or whatever. But I could have took those experiences as practice, you know, if those girls want to go on dates and stuff like that. Because you want to get good at this whole cold approach process. It's a process. You open, you have a conversation, you get her phone number, then you get her on the date. Then you go on the date, depending on the vibe, you might pull her back to your place. If it's not that sexual, then you go on another date. Then after that date, you pull her back to your place, you go to her place, right? That's pretty much the sequence. That just happens over and over. Then you can decide some of the girls, you can keep them as a rotation. Or if you find you connect with a certain one, then you make her your girlfriend or whatever, right? So, but you have to get good at all these different areas, right? And so what we're talking about right here is getting good at the opener. You got to get good at the opener, bro. When you approach a woman, you have to be able to do that with comfort and with confidence, right? And so you need to be able to be indirect, but you also need to be comfortable with being direct, because depending on, you know, the situation, sometimes you may have to go in indirect and then turn it direct at some point, or sometimes you may just want to go direct and just be direct. But you have to be confident and comfortable in it, right? Because if you walk up to the girl and you're not confident or comfortable, you're a stranger. Like, just remember, you're a stranger. She doesn't know who you are. So you have to show your best presentation, right? And as I'm telling you, a lot of it is just your character, your beingness, your grounded masculinity. I'm telling you, because if I've designed myself, you know, and I'll make a video on style, because I believe as a man, you should look good, right? Not to say that just because you look good, you will get women. That's not true. You want to maximize yourself as a man. Like, this is something you should be doing. You want to max out all areas. Why not? Why not create the best version of yourself? Like, that's kind of the mindset I have. But I understand the inner game, which is what I'm talking about, being grounded in your masculinity, being able to express yourself authentically, you know, being whole, being secure in who you are, being comfortable in your own skin, and then being able to lead the woman. Like, these are senior to all those other things. And so that's the focus here. Like, you can develop these things through cold approach pickup, right? So do the direct approaches. Get, let's say, the tension level when you approach a girl and you say, hey, I think you're attractive and I wanted to come and say hi. Like, how do you feel when you say that? If the tension is from 1 to 10, if the tension is like an 8, 9, or 10, then you need to practice. You need to do that a little bit more. You want to get it to like where it's like more of like a, maybe a 4 or 5. Like, so there needs to be a little tension, because that's what creates attraction. That's what makes the interaction fun. But you don't want it to be so high that you can't even enjoy the interaction. You see what I'm saying? Because then you can't really have fun. You can't tease the girl. You can't flirt with her if you're not comfortable. So then you want to get to a point, okay, you're doing the direct approaches. Now, once you get comfortable with both indirect and direct, from going through that experience, you can kind of see what do women respond to based on where you are right now, right? Because depending on your archetype, your communication, all these different factors, you may be better off just being direct, or you may be better off being going indirect, right? And also, you look at your comfortable level, your comfort level. What are you comfortable with? Because this is your life. I'm not going to tell you, oh, this way is better or that way is better. I've seen people have different styles. Some people are good with indirect game. Some people are good with direct game. Whatever feels right to you. And whichever one feels right to you, you want to focus on that one and you want to get good at it. What does get good mean? Let's say you decide, I want to get good at direct approaches. Go out for 30 days straight and approach, anywhere from 5 to 10 women a day for 30 days straight and do direct approaches. By the end of the 30 days, look at the numbers, right? You can get smart about this shit. How many girls did you actually get a number? How many numbers actually turn into a date? Like, do the numbers, because you can create a system. You could create your own system of picking up women, bro. You don't got to worry about a social circle. Like, I believe you could, use all the different ways, but you can literally get to a point where you don't even worry about a social circle. You ain't worried about dating apps, because you have a system that you use through code approach to get women. And so, like, if you like direct approaching, then focus on direct approaching. And remember your goal. If your goal is to get a girlfriend, stick to your goal. But now we're going to use direct approaching. Now that you're comfortable with it, we're gonna put some numbers. We're gonna start talking to women on a consistent basis and speaking to them directly, right? I think you're attractive. I want to come and say hi. Or I thought you were beautiful. I wanted to come and say hi. Or I wanted to introduce myself. Or I wanted to say what's up, right? But you're being direct about it, okay? When you say that, look at the responses you're getting, right? If the girls, if you go for 30 days straight and every single time you go, you talk to 5 to 10 girls a day, and every single time you approach them, they're always saying, oh, I have a boyfriend or this and that, then there's something off in your communication. That's when you want to start looking at yourself and saying, okay, how can I evolve in my communication so that I come off as more attractive? Now we want to look at different things. Your archetype. How do you look? What is your design? Not so much how pretty you are. I'm not pretty, but I made myself look cool, right? I turned myself into a cool archetype. So create a cool, like I could make myself look bummy. You know what I mean? I could make myself look average or regular, but I decided to make myself look cool as fuck. Okay, this is literally a design. Why not design yourself to make yourself look cool? Okay? But you gotta experiment. Like I experimented and came up with this archetype. Like I went through different phases. At one point where I used to wear like I had like more of like a hip hop, like baggy clothes vibe going on. Then I went through a phase where I was doing the businessman thing, where I used to wear suits and dress clothes. There was a time where I just wore whatever. I didn't really care too much. I just wear anything. Like I just wear a shirt and a pants and put my hat backwards. Like I've tried out different things, but I've taken all those archetypes or those styles or whatever and put them and created what you're seeing right now. Because I want to be attractive, and I also want to enjoy the beingness that I am. I want to be able to look in the mirror and say, yo, this dude looks cool as fuck. So if I feel that when I approach the girl, she will reflect that, right? Because she's going off of my energy. She's going off of my vibe, which is a combination of your thoughts, how you feel, you know what I mean, your actions, your behavior, all these things. So yeah, if you're doing a direct approach, you want to start looking at different things and elevating these different areas: your style, your communication, the tone of your voice, how do you speak? Do you speak real fast? Like, hey, what are you doing? I thought you were attractive. Or I literally worked on my voice, right? Like the way I used to be a lot more monotone. Like I used to be like, hey, what's up? My name is Trey. I wanted to come and say hi. Versus, excuse me, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi. But maybe, I don't know if you saw the difference, but it's subtle, it's subtle, right? And I worked on the inflection a little bit, but you don't want it to be fake. That's why you need to go out and talk to a lot of women, right? So you can get better at it and make it more authentic and make it more real and become more comfortable in it. Because if it sounds fake, she can tell that it sounds fake. Like you're not fooling anybody. And so that's why you need to practice. But that's why I said from the beginning, it's like you got to commit. Because I'm not saying that this shit is easy. Like it can be easier, like if you have supports, right? Like if, let's say we're working together, of course that would be easier than you going out at it by yourself. But even then, there's still a commitment. Like I would still have to get you to do certain things in order to hit the goal. So it's a commitment, bro. Just understand you're working, you're evolving as a man, and you're building your character because you want to achieve a specific goal. So yeah, your archetype, your communication, your understanding of female psychology, right? Like understanding of female psychology and female nature. There's some books you want to check out, man. Mating Minds, I believe it's called. Mating Minds, The Science of Attraction, right? If you want these books, hit me up because I'm trying to remember off the top of my mind. But these are books that go over female nature so you can understand why a woman responds to you a certain way or why, you know what I mean? Because if you don't understand that shit, then you'll misread shit. You'll misread her communication. You'll misread what she's saying. You'll misread her body language. But yeah, Science of Attraction, Mating Mind. I can't remember the rest. But if you want to know the books I recommend on female nature and male and female dynamic, hit me up. But yeah, so these different things: your style, understanding female psychology, your voice, your accessories, your body language, your your mindset, right? Are you in a positive state of mind when you're approaching her, or are you negative? If you have negative mindset and limiting beliefs and stuff like that, you got to work on those. Like, don't ignore that shit. If you have past trauma that you need to address, maybe you're holding on to some old baggage and shit like that, handle that shit, bro. So you can express yourself properly, so you can be authentic in your expression. You know what I mean? So you can demonstrate confidence, demonstrate that you can handle life. Here's a element that you want to add to your character when you're approaching women and when you're going through life. You want to demonstrate a winning mentality. I am a winner. I'm here to win, and I'm already winning. Get that vibe right now. Get the vibe. Imagine how you would feel, because you can actually take on a feeling without being in that physical situation. You know that, right? Like right now, I could get the feeling, what if I just won, let's use this example. What if I just won because I'm into basketball. So what if I was in the NBA and I won the NBA championship? Like, yo, whoo, the NBA championship, let's go, right? I'm ready. You see, I'm getting that feeling. And guess what? If I approached the girl with that vibe, that would do a lot better than what if I was just like in a vibe of, let's say I just lost some money or something on, let's say I did a stocks trade and I lost some money. How would my vibe be? So imagine I approach a girl. Excuse me, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi to you. Instant rejection, bro, because the vibe is of a vibe of somebody who's losing. But if I go up to a girl and I feel like I just won the NBA championship, so I just, something, whatever would relate to you, like something that would make you feel really great if you won at it or whatever. Hey, excuse me, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi real quick. You know, because but she's gonna feel that vibe. She's like, whoa, why is he, you know, giving off that great emotion? Like, what just happened? Did he just win $1 million or what? Right? Let her worry about what just happened. But that's your vibe though. That's your energy. So even that's something you want to work on, like your state of mind, your the emotion that you're feeling when you approach the girl, the vibration that you're in. Okay. So yeah, if you want to do the direct approaches, it's like, okay, you go out, you do your direct approaches, and then you pay attention to the feedback, but over a period of time. Don't just go out one day, you get rejected for the day, and you think shit doesn't work. That might just be a day where you're just not feeling it or whatever, right? I have those days too, but I don't put my self-worth on one day. I come out consistently, and I have better days and shit like that. So you want to do it consistently, and if you go out, you do your direct approaches, you look and you see, okay, what's working and what's not working, right? If I'm getting rejected a lot, I need to improve some things. Man, I need to get more in that winner spirit. I need to work on my style. I need to work on my communication, work on my mindset, right? Work on my state of mind, my emotions, my vibration, okay? Work on my body language. You know what I mean? Like all these different things, work on it, right? Maybe work on your physique. Right? Why are these things important? It's not for the girl, it's for you. How are you gonna feel when you work on these things? You're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel like more worthy. You're gonna feel, your self-esteem is gonna go up. You're gonna feel more confident. And she's responding to how you feel. Like that's what you want to get. Like I've designed this character because I think it's cool as fuck. If I didn't think this character was cool as fuck, it wouldn't work for me. You see what I'm saying? This archetype, the way I speak, my body language, all these things, I've created it in a way that I think is cool. If I was watching a video of myself and I saw the video, I'd be like, yo, that dude is cool as fuck. And that's how you have to feel about yourself. When you approach the woman, you have to actually feel like you're cool as fuck. I'm telling you, this stuff is all senior to the shallow concepts that they gave us. Oh, it's just about your looks. Oh, it's just about your money. Oh, it's just about your status. No, it's about how you feel, the character that you're being, your energy. Your ability to stay grounded in your masculinity, your ability to hold your frame, your ability to not break character when she tests you, when she shit tests you. You stay in your frame, but you got to know who you are. And you become grounded in your masculinity by having these experiences and being tested. You have to get tested. You have to make mistakes. You have to get challenged. That's how you get stronger. And you figure out what you like and what you don't like. And now you can have standards and have qualifications of what you expect the woman to demonstrate when you communicate to her besides her looks. You say, okay, you got the looks, but what else you got going? That's the vibe. You're screening her. So yeah, with the direct approaches, you know, you just keep coming out, you be consistent, and you keep improving yourself because it's a numbers game versus your game. What does that mean? When you're approaching women, it is a numbers game. However, you want to bring up your game. Now, it's not so much what you say, it's who's saying it. Right? It's who's saying it and it's how you're saying it. Right? So me, literally, I don't have any lines. I don't have any pickup lines. I don't have any of that. I literally just go out and express myself authentically. That was the path I took. Right? When I was doing cold approach, I seen these things online. They had these different openers and this and that and this and that. And I tried it and I was like, yo, this shit feels fake, bro. Like it doesn't sound right. Like go up to a girl and say, hey, quick question is what do you think, who lies more, men or women? Right? If you feel good saying that, then say it, right? But if that doesn't feel congruent to who you are, that shit ain't gonna work. You have to say what you think is cool as fuck. Like even me doing these videos, like if I come on this video and I try to be something that I'm not, I say, all right, so today, guys, we're going to learn about cold approach pickup, right? What if there was a guy that was teaching me and teaching that and saying, hey, yeah, when you do your live presentation, you got to be very professional and da 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 da. Yeah, maybe certain guys, yeah, that they should be like that because that's how they are. But me, I got to be me. And when I'm me, the communication comes across. When I be fake or I try to, hello guys, yes, so when cold approach, you first the opener and then that's, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. When you go up to the woman, you can't be trying to be some, say some shit that ain't congruent with who you are. You got to get congruent in who you are, but you got to be confident in who you are. You see what I'm saying? The reason why shit is not working is because you don't really believe in yourself like that. If I could put my confidence and my belief into you, guarantee your results would change. I guarantee it overnight. It's the beingness. It's the person saying it. It's the person communicating. It's the person who is, but you have to evolve into this person. I was not always like this. Right? I was not always like this. I used to be shy. I know some people have a hard time believing it. I used to be shy. I used to be timid. I used to be passive. And I, you know, I had limiting beliefs. And yeah, I wasn't able to express myself. And so that's why women would not respond to me well. Once I worked on my inner game, I had the height. I still had the height. I had a good physique in high school. I was kind of popular. I played on the basketball team, but I ain't get no girls, bro, because I had no confidence. When the girl would show interest, I didn't know what to do. I was too shy. I was too whatever. I was doubting myself. I had limiting beliefs. Didn't have no self-worth. Like, these are the things that matter. I'm telling you, level up in these areas, bro. Grounded masculinity, all that is you being secure. You being secure as a man. You have an abundance mentality. You knowing that there's millions of girls out there. If one girl says no, then on to the next. You have to actually believe that and understand that. That's facts. Okay? And if you're talking to a lot of women and you're not getting the results you want, that means you need to improve as a man. You need to start working on these different qualities. What are your strengths? Bring up your strengths. What are your weaknesses? Bring up your weaknesses, turn them into strengths. Or if your weakness is something you can't really build up like that, then amplify your strengths so your weakness they don't even notice your weakness. See what I'm saying? Bring up your strengths so people can't even notice your weaknesses. And there's certain women out there that's gonna fuck with your strengths, that's gonna fuck with your beingness. There's a woman out there that's waiting for you to show up, the best version of you, not the version of you that you're not even proud of. You got to be proud of who you are. And when you approach the girl, you need to communicate that. I'm proud of who I am. I don't give a fuck about your validation. I don't really need you to like me. I just want to share good vibes, right? I just want to share experiences in life with another human being. But if it's not you, it's going to be someone else. So let me know what's good. You're not actually saying that, but that's the vibe, though. That's the vibe you want to communicate. That's the feeling you want to put into your communication. I am not attached to the outcome, right? Because I have an abundance mentality, and I know I'm focused on evolution and progressing as a man and improving as a man. So what does that mean? The quality of women I attract is going to increase. You just have to know this, right? Like, you just have to know this. Like, if you keep improving as a man and you keep amplifying your strengths and amplifying these different qualities and work on your grounded masculinity and improve your authentic expression and become more of a leader, you will increase the quality of women that you attract in your life. And if you're not, I'll literally ask you. We jump on a call, or I go in the message box. I ask you, like, where are you at in your grounded masculinity? Do you feel like you're grounded in your masculinity? Do you feel like you can express yourself authentically? Do you feel like a leader? Can you lead women? Are you detached from the outcome? Do you have an abundance mentality? When you see yourself, if you were to take a picture or a video of yourself and you saw yourself and how you act and how you live your life, would you be proud of what you see? If not, something needs to change. Right? Cold approach pickup, what it did for me is it forced me to see myself. It forced me to face myself, face my insecurities, face my flaws, face the things that I could improve. There's certain things that you can improve. There's certain things you can't. Like, I'm not going to go and get surgery to fix my face. Fuck that. But there's certain qualities I could work on. I can improve my style. I can improve my archetype. I can improve my physique. I can work on my communication. I can work on my mindset. I can clear up my energy and work on my vibe. I could bring up my frequency. I can build up my confidence. These are things you can improve on, so improve on them. I can get more comfortable when I'm interacting with women, I can work on being more seductive in my communication. Seduction, that's another topic I need to get into another time, because that's a whole other topic. But seduction, essentially your ability to create a fantasy for the girl when you communicate. What is unique about your communication, bro? Stop trying to follow some way of being. You don't have to be like nobody. Be yourself, but be your best self. Like, communicate that polarizing version of yourself. Yes, you're gonna repel some girls, but some girls are gonna be into it. Some girls are gonna be like, where have you been my whole life? Right? You gotta be unique. You gotta stand out. It's a competition. The only way you can beat the competition is by being you. But you gotta level up you. That's what I did. That's all I did, is I leveled up the version of me I was being. The shy, timid, weak version of myself, that shit wasn't cutting it. I had to become more masculine. I had to become more grounded. I had to become more dominant. I had to become more disciplined, more focused. I had to work on my purpose, living a purpose-driven life. I had to start believing in myself more, being more proactive. I had to learn how to be vulnerable. That's the feminine part. You got to add a little feminine to it. You got to be able to be vulnerable and feel emotions and have feelings, but not be a pussy about it, though. You know, you just embracing the human condition. Okay, yeah, we feel emotions, we have feelings, but I'm not controlled by my emotions. That's the difference. I'm not controlled by my emotions. I'm not controlled by my feelings. I could experience them, and that's what it is. But I still hold my order. I still hold my logic. I still hold my intelligence as a value. Okay? And that's the masculine energy. And so when you're in your masculine energy and you're grounded in it and you don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, there's certain women out there that's going to vibe with that. Right? And if the level of women that you're attracting is not the level you want, then you increase these qualities within yourself. You evolve. Like, as I evolved throughout my cold approach journey, the quality of women that I attracted evolved with the evolution. Right? In the beginning, I would have attracted some decent girls or whatever, and the quality kept going up. Right? You know, in the beginning, you get some 6s and 7s, you know, and then you get some 8s, and then you get some 9s. Right? I don't really give... just so you know, like the 1 to 10 scale, I don't really give girls 10s. A 10 to me, a girl would be a 10 if I thought she was like a 9 or an 8, and then, you know, we communicated and we got in a relationship, and I found out that her personality and her values and stuff were like really on point and really matching mine. Now she becomes a 10, right? So a 10 becomes a 10 once she has basically decided to submit and be feminine within my masculine energy. Now she's a 10. I don't give her that 10 like, you know, until she deserves it, until she earns it. And that's something you should take on as a mentality. Stop giving these girls 10s. What the fuck is a 10? You ain't no 10 just because of how she looks. She didn't even choose. Like, we don't choose our body. Like, at least from not maybe somebody might say, yes, we do. Before we were born, we chose our bodies. I don't know about all that. All I know is I woke up, you know, I was born one day and I saw myself in a certain body. I was a black man, and I was dark-skinned black man, and I was tall, and okay, great. So let me just see what I can do with this, right? I could have went many routes with it, but I chose this route, right? And I'm grounded in it. And I love my life, bro. Get to a point where you love your life. If you don't love your life, then figure that out. Why don't you love your life? What the fuck's going on? What are you doing? Your life is precious, bro. You don't know when you're going to lose it. Have you ever thought about that? You can lose your life, bro, at any moment. Stop fucking around. Like, let's get this shit going. If you want to improve your dating life, start applying yourself, right? Start applying this shit. Some of this shit, maybe there's certain shit you're cherry picking. Stop cherry picking. Like, do all the shit and put your work in and pay your dues, and the universe will reward you. I put my ego aside. I said, yo, I'm going to go out and approach some women, bro. And I was getting rejected and different shit was happening, but I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'm going to just go through this shit, bro. I'm going to go through the pain. I'm going to go through the suffering. I'm going to go through whatever so I can evolve as a man. That's how you evolve. That's how you grow. It's through adversity. It's through tough times. It's through going through the pain, the discomfort, the shit that you don't want to do. Your beliefs get challenged. Your limiting beliefs get challenged. What you thought about women is not true. Okay? What you thought about yourself is not true. You are better than what you think you are. You have way more potential than what you're going after right now. You're much more stronger. You're much more masculine. You're much more confident. You're much more intelligent, more disciplined. But you gotta level up, bro. Like, when I speak to someone, I'm looking at them and I'm like, damn, bro, do you know your potential? Because they can't see it because they ain't really go through the shit. I actually went through the shit with this cold approach. And I'm not done, by the way. I'm going to keep leveling up. Because why not? It's my life. My life is, you know, I don't know when it's going to be done, so I'm going to keep doing my shit. So yeah, bro, cold approach, look. I'm going to just break it down for you. You need to first master opening women. You got to get comfortable with approaching women and forget about picking her up and all that stuff. Are you comfortable and confident when you walk up to a woman, and can you express yourself authentically? The reason men don't know what to say and what to do is because they are stuck in their head. They're focused too much. Oh, how do I get her? How do I get her phone number? Oh my goodness. How do I make her like me? Who gives a fuck, bruh? Get into your grounded masculinity. Get into the abundance mindset. She should be thinking that about you. Oh, how do I get him? That's the mindset you want to have. Stop seeing her as a prize. You are the prize. Okay? You are the prize. There's one of you, there's millions of them. That's the mentality you need to have. It's the inner game. The inner game beats all that other shit. You can literally go up to a girl and say 2 words and pick her up. Right? You can go up to a girl and say, hey, I thought you were cute. And if you say it the right way and it's a girl that is really receptive to your masculine energy, you got to be in it. You got to really be in that masculine energy and really be in that I don't give a fuck mindset. Right? That whole bad boy attitude, all that is, they call it bad boy. They don't want to break it down properly. That's a grounded masculine dude who can express himself authentically and he leads. That's a bad boy. What is a grounded masculine dude? That's a dude that knows what he's about, knows, you know, his character in life, his beingness, and what's an authentic expression. You say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Okay? But also have some intelligence. Like, you don't go around and violating the environment. Calibrate it. Calibrate your communication. Like, when I approach a woman, I express myself authentically. I say what I want to say, but I calibrate it. I'm not trying to violate nobody. For what? What does that do? Even if I don't pick up the girl, I want to at least have made her day. I want her to be like, oh, that was a nice conversation, or that was a nice interaction. Even if I don't pick her up. Because that's good vibes. I put out good vibes, it will come back to me. Right? Maybe she wasn't a girl for me, but maybe the next approach will be. If I had a good vibe, that's momentum. That's going to give me social momentum to go into the next approach. So, look, you want to get comfortable with this whole cold approach thing. That's how you get good at it, bro. You know what I mean? Now, okay, so let's just go through it. So I'll give you a typical example of how an approach would look for me if I was going direct. Let's just go direct, because I'm realizing that if I really go into all this shit, it's going to take forever, bro. So let's say a direct approach. I see a girl that I think she's attractive. I go up to her and say, hey, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi. She says, oh, hey, how are you? How's your day going? I'll say, man, my day's going great. You know, started off, woke up real early today, about 4:15. Started off, I did some affirmations. You know, I listened to some affirmations. I jumped into a workout. I do calisthenics, like body weight. So I go into body weight workout. Right now I'm working on 1-arm push-ups. So I'm doing 1-arm push-ups. She made input. Oh, you do 1-arm push-ups? How do you do that or whatever? But you notice I'm not really saying anything amazing here, but it's because I really don't really even give a fuck. I'm just grounded. I'm just saying whatever I want to say. I'm just expressing myself. I'm not in my head. I'm in my body. I'm in my heart. I'm in my soul. And I'm just speaking. And we're having a connection because I'm not putting up a shield. I'm not putting up a barrier. I'm not trying to put up a facade or anything. So she can go into her feminine because I'm being completely grounded in my masculine. And I'm willing to walk away. That's part of it. You got to be willing to walk away. Like, if she says, like, some negative shit, like, oh, you work out? Like, that's gross or something. If she says that in a tone that I ain't fucking with, I'll just be like, oh, have a great day. Right? If she says in a playful way, I'll say, oh, what, are you lazy or something? What, you one of those people that just eats McDonald's all day or what? Right? Like, if it's playful, then we will have a little funny, playful, whatever. But you notice I hold my character. I don't change. Like, she says something. Oh, yeah, you know, No, stay, whatever the character is that you're being, your beingness, you stay within that. Like, that's what the grounded masculinity is. Like, you stay proactive. You don't react to her. When you react, you lose. Because you're basically, you lose the shit test. It's shit test. She says some weird shit or whatever. You pass the shit test by staying in your character. So yeah, I say what I say. She says, "Oh yeah, you work out, yeah." But yeah, and she may say, "So what are you doing?" I was like, and I'll say, "Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm just vibing. I actually came here. By the way, we're in a grocery store. We're in a grocery store. Yeah, I just came here. I wanted to get some. There's these cookies that I like to get. They're like a plant-based. They have protein in them. I just started eating them. I think they're called Lenny's and Larry's or something. Somebody put me onto them, but I thought I would come and get a box of those because they're actually like really good, and I guess you could say they're kind of healthy too." She's like, "Oh, really? Yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So what are you about? What are you doing? "Oh, yeah, I'm doing this and this, blah 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 blah." Now here's the thing. Somebody might say, "So like, how do you know when to go for the number or whatever?" What I do when I interact with the girl, and this is why I tell you want to get good at the fundamentals so you can be comfortable. Because when you're comfortable, you able to go into your body, get out of your head, go into your body, and feel the energy, feel the vibe. Feel the vibe. You can really pay attention to her body language. Pay attention to how excited she is to be in a conversation. How interested is she? How much interest is she demonstrating? That will let you know when to go for her number, when not. If she's not showing that much interest, if she kind of looks like she wants to get out the interaction, just end it, right? But if she's really into it or whatever, you could say, "Yeah, you're actually pretty cool. Would you say your name was?" "Oh, I'm so-and-so." "Okay, nice to meet you." "Yeah, I actually got to head out, but I don't know, would you be down to exchange numbers, or would you use Snapchat or Instagram or something?" Or, "Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah." "All right, cool. So, yeah, take my number down." "Okay." Or, "Yeah, let me get your number. What's your number?" You type it in. Or, you know what I mean? But the vibe is like, I'm the prize. Like, you better be happy that I'm taking your number down, because you're missing out. That's the mentality, bro. Get to that mentality, bro. Say affirmations, write your goals down, beast out, like go after, have a purpose, do the shit you love to do, love your life, fall in love with your life so you can fall in love with yourself. Stop trying to get a girl to love you or get a girl to feel good or none of that shit, bro. You become secure in yourself. You become whole in yourself. I'm telling you, this is how you pick up, right? This is how you pick women up. So you get her number, you know what I mean? And then, let's say like this is the next day or whatever. Now actually I text them the same day. So like before the end of the day, probably like at the end of my day, because usually when I wrap up, I check my phone and like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to text this girl." So I'll text her, I'll say, "Hey, so-and-so, I'm just checking my schedule. I'm wondering if you'd be down to do something this week. When are you free?" Right? You put that out there. I don't really, bullshit around with a bunch of text game. I just let her know what's up. And then she'll either say, "Yeah, I'm free on this day," or she'll say, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy." If she says she's busy, boom, it ends right there. I don't even respond. I just leave it on red. Cause you know what I mean? Like, abundance mentality, bro. Abundance mentality. That's why I love cold approach pickup. But you got to be committed to it. You see? Like when you're committed to it, I'm telling you, you will be. Because if you're talking to girls consistent, you're getting numbers all the time. So it's like when a girl is like acting stupid, talking about, "Hey, I'm busy." You're not the president. You're not the governor. Like you're not. If she's saying she's busy, she's basically saying she's not that interested. Leave her ass on red, bro. Like that's like if a girl hits you up and she's like, "Hey, you want to come over?" and you say you're busy. Obviously, you're not interested. So I'm not even gonna fuck with that. But if she says, "I'm busy, but I think I can make time on this day," and I'll say, "Okay, yeah, let's do it," or whatever. But if she just completely says, "I'm busy," I don't respond. Right? But if she says, let's say I say, "Okay, when you're free," she says, "I'm free on Friday." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. I know a nice coffee shop, or I know a park or whatever. I was thinking we could head out there." She's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds good." I was like, "So what time works for you? How does 7 p.m. sound, or how does this time sound?" "Oh yeah, it sounds good." "Okay, boom. See you on the date." All right. Now I'm gonna have to make another video, maybe a part 2, or because You know, because I want to go into like the dates and then all, but it's a process. But the point is, you know, I don't know where you're at with your cold approach, but like I'm telling you, bro, first you need to master the ability to approach a woman. Can you approach a woman with comfort and confidence? Answer that. Can you? Yes or no? If you can approach a woman with comfort and confidence, then you're way above a lot of people. You know, you're way past a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, most guys can't even approach a girl without being nervous, right? And maybe that's where you're at. And I'm not making fun of that because I used to be there, right? But if you could just get to a point where you can approach a girl with confidence, you're way past a whole bunch of dudes, man. I'm telling you. And then from there, you got to work on your calibration. You got to calibrate your communication to make it attractive. This is through trial and error, bro. Because every man is unique. That's why, like, if you work with me, my goal is to get you to take action, right? Because action is what's going to give you feedback and references so you can look at it and analyze it and make and improve and get the numbers in your favor. Because at first it's just a numbers game. You're just talking to women, but then you want to get the numbers in your favor by getting strategic, by getting smart about the shit. Okay? But what I'm telling you is I went through the process, and what I found, what I developed that allows me to pick up women better than most guys is because I'm grounded in my masculinity. I'm able to express myself authentically, and I lead. Okay? And there's some other elements around that. Like, I don't give a fuck. I have abundance mindset. You know, I have boundaries. I have I'm purpose driven, but these all fall into grounded. Like, if I didn't have those things, I wouldn't be grounded in my masculinity. I wouldn't be able to express myself authentically. I wouldn't be able to lead, right? So, look, fellas, I hope this information was helpful. Go out and apply it, right? I'm gonna see if I can make a part 2 of this, because I'm seeing that this is taking much longer than I thought it would. But it's all good. I gave y'all a very strong foundation that if you go and apply, you can literally start getting results. Because as I said, if you go out and you do this for 30 days straight, you're playing the numbers game. You're gonna start getting some girls. You know what I mean? You're gonna start getting some numbers and shit if you're consistent, because you're gonna start building up that grounded masculinity. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, right? You start building up your grounded masculinity. You start becoming more confident. Your communication gets a little more, flows better. You get smoother, right? Okay, you start noticing different things. You know what? Let me work on my style a little bit more so I can get some better reactions, you know? Let me work on my communication. Let me work on my body language. Oh, I see some limiting beliefs coming up, some insecurities coming up. Let me start handling those instead of avoiding them and running away from them. Oh, some past traumas coming up. Let me handle that past trauma. Like, you got to handle these things. That's what I did. Certain shit started coming up. When you go and approach girls, shit starts coming to the surface. Because a woman will reflect you, and she's designed to test you. She's designed to point out your flaws and weaknesses. Okay? So look, fellas, if you like this idea of cold approach, right? Like I said, you can start going out and apply it on yourself. But if you want to work together, I do have a program. It's called the Sexy Beast Program. And literally we work together, and I help you go out there and approach women. I help you work on your grounded masculinity. I help you improve your authentic expression. I help you become more of a leader. I help you improve your archetype. I help you work on your insecurities, your limiting beliefs. I help you max yourself out, because that's what you got to do as a man. Max out you. You need to become irreplaceable. That's how you beat the competition. You become unique in an attractive way. Unique in an attractive way. That's how you beat these other dudes. There's always going to be somebody more good looking. There's always going to be somebody with more money. Always going to be somebody with more status. But there's not going to be somebody who has the unique combination of qualities that you have. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to get certain girls, and they're going to fuck with you. And they're not going to, they're going to realize, like, if you really work on yourself and you really get to this point, they're going to realize, like, oh, fuck, this dude is like just a different breed. Like, what is he? Right? She's not going to be able to replace you so easily. That's how you keep these girls interested. Keep a girl interested by being unique and also continuing your evolution. Don't get complacent. When you start getting girls interested, don't get lazy or ego getting in the way. Yeah, I'm good now, man. I got these girls on lock. That's when the universe will show you, you know you're not good. Okay, you got some girls, but don't get complacent. Don't get lazy, though. They will leave. You got to make evolution a part of your character. Make improvement, self-improvement, self-development, improving your inner game, improving your outer game, just maxing out your attributes as a man. Make that your game. Make that part of your philosophy, part of your religion, or whatever you want to call it, like part of your beingness, your character. I'm the type of man that's always going to evolve. I'm always going to get better. I don't stop, right? I want to see how great I can become, how amazing I can become. And the women will come, I'm telling you, because they're looking for that guy. They're looking for that guy with that attitude, with that vibe, that sees himself as a prize, that sees himself as a king. And he's just cool as fuck, and he has his own unique style, and he's not trying to be nobody, he's just trying to be himself. All right? So if you'd like help, if you want to work together, you like the idea of us working together one-on-one, us doing a coaching call each week, and I give you action steps to take, and I help you basically evolve as a man and become a sexy beast, hit me up. I have a program. It's called a Sexy Beast program. It's 3 months long, one-on-one coaching, and it's only $500. All right? So hit me up. Let me know if you're interested in the program. Also, if you like the content in this video, go ahead, start applying it. Don't just soak the information up and don't do shit. Go and apply it, bro. Okay? And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make a part 2 or make a video where I focus on, the second half, right? Because we kind of focused on the open and kind of getting the interaction going, and I talked about, I gave you an example of me actually getting a number, and I showed you that it's not like I'm saying anything spectacular. It's just the way how I'm saying it, the mindset, the beingness, the vibe that I'm carrying, okay? But the part 2 will focus on, okay, what do you do after you get the number, the dates, and then also like closing the deal, right? Getting her back to your place, and then we can go into relationships, creating relationships like rotation, or if you want to make a girl your girlfriend. So yeah, I'm gonna make a part 2 probably next week. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.